Dragon Ball has always been known as a series where Goku usually ends up getting the win in one way or another. Of course, for the main character of an entire franchise, that's pretty much to be expected. However, during one of the most popular battles of the series, it was instead his son who would ascend to new heights to save the planet and its people. But what if Gohan was only a catalyst for a change within his father instead? After giving his pep talk, 16's head is crushed beneath the foot of Perfect Cell. Pointing down at the mentally defeated boy, the monster snarls that was yet another fighter Gohan could have saved. He had better start getting mad before all of them are dead. But with tears in his eyes, he stutters. No. Before falling out of Super Saiyan crying he can't. He's just a kid. As the others battle the Cell Juniors, the action stops as they sense his ki plummet back to base. Judging by the look in Goku's eyes, even he knows he made a fatal mistake in trusting this fight to a child. On his knees, Gohan begs Cell he doesn't want to fight and to please tell his minions to stop. This causes a rage to swell within the villain, standing over him. He screams, how dare this miserable little brat waste his time! He had been expecting a battle of epic proportions. He calls out to the juniors. If they're done beating those fools into the ground, he has a new target for them. He wants them instead to beat this runt to death. Gohan! Pipe down, you imbeciles! Witnessing his comrades fall lifeless to the ground, Goku picks himself from the dirt. While injured, he can't stand by and do nothing knowing his son is next. Bellowing for him to leave Gohan alone. Cell catches him by surprise, taunting why is he in such a hurry for. He wants the Saiyan to watch as his son is reduced to a bloody pulp. Why don't you join him in his grave? Goku feverishly tries to pull himself from the crater, his only goal in getting to Gohan. Tears streaming down his face. He tells his son he's here and to please just hang in there. Memories flash before him from his short life, from beginning to end. He's gone. The monster behind him tries to mockingly console our hero. He assures Goku it's not a big loss. Such a pathetic excuse for a warrior. He should have never been born. Exploding with energy, Cell realizes something has changed within the Saiyan. He's different than before. Holding the lifeless body of his only son, Goku promises Cell will pay for what he's done with his life. Now expressing a much more serious face, Cell starts to think this could get interesting. Appearing to be the only fighter still holding his own against the juniors, Vegeta turns to see what this surge of power is, noticing Goku and Gohan. Finally letting that smug smile return, Cell scoffs it seems Goku has been holding out after all. Frankly, he's insulted, but if he thinks a mere power-up will be enough to defeat perfection, he is sorely mistaken. Though Vegeta grits his teeth knowing the villain is wrong. If Kakarot was holding back, he himself would have sensed it. He's changed. The prince has a sudden curiosity if this could be the true ascended form of Super Saiyan. Our hero zips away from the battlefield to place his son close to Mr. Satan. Back in an instant, Cell thanks him for moving the trash. That's when the situation resonates with Goku, imagining his son asking why he didn't save him. He just stood there and watched. How could he? The monster questions what's wrong. Did he strike a nerve? Annihilating most of the juniors, Goku replies, "No, Cell, I'll remove the trash." As Cell begins to assess the developing situation in earnest, Vegeta growls this is absolutely absurd. After all the time they spent trying to kill these things, Kakarot wipes them out in a single assault. Cell admits, with fury in his eyes. That wasn't bad, but he's going to have to do better than... snatching the Senzu back from the fiend. He only landed 2 blows on him. The villain wonders why he's so damaged from such a minimal onslaught. He couldn't even defend himself against Goku. He wonders if he is stronger than himself now. But no, he refuses to believe it. So regains his composure too. In his thoughts, congratulate his foe on a job well done. But there is more to winning a fight than just strength and speed. As the Saiyan's rage boils over, Cell expresses verbally how impressive this all is. But it was rather selfish of Goku to let his son get killed before revealing this power of his. After another slurry of attacks, it's just as the bioandroid thought. This opponent may have the edge in strength and speed. Vegeta finishes his thought. While the aforementioned may be true, he has completely lost control and left himself wide open. Collapsing 2 giant pillars of rock on him as a diversion. Cell powers a blast while cackling. Goku has all this power without a mind to use it. How incredibly disappointing. Now he will feel the full extent of his own power and die. And with that, he's done it. There no longer remains anyone to defend the Earth. Goku is perfectly fine. He stoically warns Cell if that's all the power he has, he's as good as dead. Away. Turns out Trunks survived, though he feels like his entire body is numb. Getting a load of the damage, he tells himself he's definitely seen better days. Looking around, he finds Piccolo, causing him to remember they both rushed in after Gohan. At any rate, Piccolo looks to be in bad shape, but still has a faint key signature, and he can't sense those little demons anymore. There's no time to waste. He has to get to Gohan, injured or not. Right on time, he wonders what that massive key could be before realizing it's Goku. Such wild, violent energy. He tries to make sense of how this could be. Tossing the Senzu beans to the time traveler, Goku barks for him to take these and get out of his way. Catching him, Trunks doesn't protest. Though Cell doesn't plan to let these impudent worms to do as they like on his battlefield. But right in his face, Goku alerts his foe he doesn't have the luxury of looking away in this fight. Meanwhile, Trunks doesn't waste much time in eating a Senzu, completely healing the gaping hole that previously left him incapacitated. When his father of this time approaches, surprised to see he's alright, he takes the opportunity to inquire where Gohan is and what happened to all those little cells. He scowls at his foolish son that of course he's alright. Now, it would be best for him to get away from here and tend to the Namek and the Earthlings. Though Trunks drops the Senzus in a panic at how Vegeta handles Piccolo, he's in critical condition. Moments later, they get the Namekian back in working order. Trunks urging he take it easy and give himself a minute. He was in pretty bad shape. But the only thing on his mind is finding Gohan, demanding Vegeta tell him where he is. Without mincing words, he tells the pair, Gohan is dead. The gang make their way over to the boy. The Namek holds his oldest friend apologizing he wasn't strong enough to save him. He curses the situation in frustration, sadness, and anger. He screams to Goku he hopes he's happy. His son is dead now! He's dead! Trunks reaches out to admit the situation does seem bad right now, but they can bring him back to life using the Dragon Balls. And Goku is... Piccolo jerks. Goku is what? Stronger? Trunks is a fool if he thinks strength is all that matters. What good is strength if your poor decisions cost the life of your own son? How can they put their faith in a man like that? When Vegeta grunts he's had enough of this sentimental dribble, there is no place for weakness on the battlefield, demanding he take the other weaklings and leave here now. Albeit begrudgingly, Trunks tells his other that his father might be right. They should round up the others and head back to the lookout. Ironically, they completely disregard Mr. Satan as they head away, who begs and pleads for him not to just leave him here. Although, he isn't what's important right now. Vegeta sets his attention back to the battle, pondering why Kakarot hasn't finished the job yet. Beaten down, Cell doesn't have any strength left. Goku menacingly approaches him, kneeling down to emphasize the chasm of power that separates them. The Saiyan is relieved to see that the monster is still alive. It would have been disappointing had he died so easily. But with that, he wants to continue. Grabbing his arm, Vegeta stops him. He explains to his rival he didn't realize he was one for torture, asking, "What are you doing, you clown?" He has allowed this to take hold of him and dictate his actions, just as the Uzara form does to so many of their kind. And honestly, it's shameful. What would his son say if he saw him like this? These words break through to our hero. He now sees the faults in his actions. The prince beckons for him to stand aside so he himself can finish this. Having manipulated him once, Cell tries his hand at it again, pleading to Vegeta he wouldn't kill a downed warrior, would he? If he allows him to gather his strength, he will give him the greatest fight, one befitting of a warrior of his mighty stature. Reaching out his hand, it's almost like we've seen the scene play out before. Vegeta closes his eyes to offer a smile. He chuckles the villain may have his cells, but he doesn't know a single thing about him. Powering his final flash, the prince screams he has suffered the android long enough. As the battlefield returns to its former silence, that should do it. Both of the warriors now back in their base forms. Vegeta questions that form he used against Cell. Was that? Goku calls out to the prince as he struck down from behind. With his arm still extended and a furious ki enveloping him, Cell mutters that is the last time Vegeta will ever have the advantage over him. Now then, the way he sees it, it's one round apiece. Let the final round of the Cell games begin. But he's supposed to be dead. How did he come back? Taking the time to explain and indulge in himself, even if he is reduced to nothing more than a single living cell, he will always come back. This body of his is true perfection. It can't be defeated. It's simply impossible. Even if he is brought to the brink of extinction, his Saiyan cells will bring him back more powerful than before. So, as Goku sees, he is invincible. Goku scoffs. Invincible, huh? Don't make him laugh. All he has to do is make sure there's nothing left when he destroys him. Motioning, Cell insists he's welcome to try. Assessing more than just the fight ahead, our hero can sense Vegeta's ki is faint, but he is still alive. He has to steer the battle away from here. Developing a quick plan, he thinks he may just have the thing that'll work. Utilizing the solar flare. It doesn't faze Cell as he knows that technique's only weakness. Closing his eyes, he offers to play along knowing full well what the Saiyan's up to. Not taking him off the planet, but only a few miles away. Cell states that now that their locale has been chosen, let them commence their final battle. Planing Goku into the ground, the monster beckons. What's wrong? He thought he was just so raring to go.
Weak attacks like that will never hurt me. You insolent worm! Know your place!
Meanwhile, Piccolo and Trunks have taken Gohan's body and the other injured Z-Fighters to Kami's lookout. Once there, Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha are each given a Senzu bean. Sensing the desperate battle below, the recovered team quickly dispersed to gather the Dragon Balls. Now with all 7 balls gathered, Shenron is summoned once again.
That wish shall be granted.
As the boy begins to open his eyes, he hears the voice of Krillin shouting his name, followed by Piccolo shouting for him to be quiet, but he can't help it. He's still not getting up. The Namekian then tells him to be patient and let Shenron do his work. Gohan will awaken shortly. Right on cue, the child awakens to see all of his friends before him, all excited to see he's back. But he was dead. He was sure of it. Cell was the one who killed him. Krillin explains he's fine now, and that's what matters. Goku's gonna teach that monster a lesson. As Piccolo induces a self-inflicted clothes beam, Trunks asks Gohan to listen. Cell is even more powerful than before. As things stand, he's not certain even Goku can defeat him alone. They need him to. Krillin cuts him off. He has to be kidding. Has Trunks completely lost his marbles? Even if what he's saying is true, they're not sending him back out there. He's just been brought back to life. Approaching the boy, Trunks knows it's not fair to ask him this, but they need his power. He too can feel what's happening down there, can he? And he can. Cell, his power is growing. And his dad, no! His father's ki is fading fast. He can't take much more. Krillin tries his best to make his case to Piccolo. Surely he doesn't agree with this. He needs to say something. Doing so, he utters there is a reason Gohan was brought back first. If they're going to make a difference in this battle, they need all the help they can get. If Cell wins, they all die anyway. He won't force Gohan to stand with everyone and fight, refusing to be the one who puts him in a situation like that. However, he does agree with Trunks. They have to act quickly. The decision is his, but he must decide now. Back at the battle, Goku is beaten and weary. Tapping down. Cell tells his foe this is pointless. With every exchange, he can feel Goku's power slipping away from him. He's afraid he's no longer a challenge, though he must commend the Saiyan. He truly was the only one on this worthless rock worth fighting. Charging a final Kamehameha, Cell believes perhaps he will never face a challenge like this again. For that, he has his gratitude. Nevertheless, all good things must come to an end. Resolving to grant our hero a warrior's death, he and this entire solar system will vanish, and he himself will live on as the mightiest in the universe. Goku bellows he'll die before he ever lets Cell get away with that. He won't kill anyone else. He will end the monster right here. Though Cell feels this is merely one more paper wall to break through, vowing to erase the fool. With our hero struggling, Cell mocks what's the matter. He thought he had more left in the tank than this. Goku knows he's too strong and can't keep up. Is this really the end? When King Kai interrupts the moment, screaming he not dare give up. The deity shouts for him to listen. If Cell is allowed to live, he will go on to terrorize the entire universe. He needs to stop him here. A bit stumped, Goku realizes that's it. The technique King Kai taught him. He doesn't know how long his body can hold out, but this is the only option he has left. He doesn't care about the cost. He'll destroy Cell before he can hurt anyone else. Supplementing the situation with the Kaioken, this catches Cell completely off guard. This is impossible. How is he generating so much power? Suddenly, Goku feels the same power he's putting out being returned. Having his genetics, he asks,
Kaioken was it?
cackling what a marvelous technique. And now, he will use it to crush his foe, accidentally making Cell up to several times more powerful. Goku apologizes to everyone. This is all his fault. Letting out the final push. Cell notices something. Not only all of the Z fighters, but Gohan too returns to Goku's side. Furious, Cell barks that these weaklings need to be taught their place. No matter how many of them gather, they are nothing in the face of the perfect being. Unleashing a Kaioken ×3. Even with everyone, it's not enough. Goku tells his son he's sorry for all of this. But Gohan can't. He won't. He won't let everyone down. Not again. Unlocking Super Saiyan 2. His power is incredible. Our hero knows now is their chance.
Insects! You are nothing compared to me! Kaioken ×4!
As the Kaioken begins to take its toll on Cell's body, Vegeta bellows, what are these idiots gawking at? Do they want to kill him or not? Glancing back, Goku is relieved to discover Vegeta decided to swallow his pride and take a senzu after all. Cell wonders how that fool is still alive. As a collection of warriors begin the end of Cell, Goku figures this is the end of himself as well. Proud of his son, he bids goodbye. to sense the monster's ki anymore. It's really over. He cheers to his father, they did it! When he realizes... the battle is over, and Cell has been defeated, but at the cost of Goku's life. Gohan and the others take his body back to the lookout, where they find Shenron still patiently waiting. As Gohan had been wished back prior, Shenron tells them they have only one wish remaining. Z-Fighters use it to resurrect all of the people killed in Cell's rampage. Among these are androids 17 and 18. Goku had died as a result of his own actions, not those of Cell, so his body remained lifeless. Dende advises that wish could be instead made on Piranga to bring Goku back. But right at that moment, the hero himself would communicate with the group from Otherworld. As Goku begins to speak, it becomes clear that he is sure of his decision. He tells everyone that he thinks it'd be better if he remained in the afterlife. His actions have put the planet and all of them at risk. The Earth has been in danger so many times over the past few years. He realized that it's mostly been because of himself. In disbelief, Gohan faces skyward and cries out, begging his father they still need him here. Goku utters a smile and responds that he's sorry for everything he's put him through. He truly is, but this really is best for everyone. The power he showed today was amazing, and he knows that with him defending the Earth, it'll be safe. And maybe, when the time is right, he can come back. Until then, he tells his son to stay strong. Gohan thinks for a moment and begins to smile. He thinks of fond memories with his dad. Looking out into the sunlit ocean of clouds, he comes to terms with his father's decision and the responsibility that has been passed down to him. He makes a silent promise to himself. He will never fail again.